Hello everyone, welcome again to another interesting session of our short tutorials on solar power system. Yes, today we will be talking about something very interesting, something that has been bothering you guys, something that both our trainees, both our intending trainees, both visitors and strangers have always asked us. This is a question that we have always come across on many platforms, and today we have decided to dive into it. In as much as we had already promised our trainees that this will get to them, but then it's not just going to be for the benefit of our trainees, it is also going to be for the benefit of each and everyone who will come across this. Whether you are a trainee or not, you will definitely benefit from this. This is the topic we call the bifacial solar panel. There is something about a bifacial solar panel that everyone keeps talking about it. The bifacial solar panel, the bifacial solar panel. What is it about the bifacial solar panel? Today, we are going to dive deep into it, give you guys insight about what we call the bifacial solar panel, talk about it, dissect it, so that you all will have a basic knowledge and understanding of what this bifacial solar panel is and how effective it is and how best you can make good use of it. Yes, this is brought to you by VertField Tech. And I am Chukuma Madukwe, your instructor, the one that has always hosted and coordinated these short video tutorials. All right, let's dive into it. So, scope of study. This is typically to tell you the various things we are going to be looking into. One, what are bifacial solar panels? We are going to walk you through, make you understand what bifacial solar panels are. Is a bifacial solar panel more efficient? Is it more efficient? Why do people keep talking about it? What are the advantages of bifacial solar panels? We are going to also walk you through the advantages of your bifacial solar panels. Are bifacial solar panels useless on rooftops? This is a topic that most of you have always shown interest in, and today you are going to really know if bifacial solar panels are useless on rooftops or not. Can you even use bifacial solar panels on your rooftop? That is a question you would have to find out as we progress in this training session. How are bifacial solar panels installed for maximum efficiency? Now, bifacial solar panels, just like your other solar panels, is there a specific way you are expected to install your bifacial solar panels so that they can be able to give you that efficiency, so that they can be able to perform optimally, so that they can be able to reach up to their demands? This and many more are the things you will be finding out from this complete tutorial. If you are patient enough, you will definitely get more than you bargained for. And for those of you who will be enrolling for our training course on solar, we would also do justice to this. Let's dive into it. Review on solar panels. What are solar panels? Solar panels are those your devices and components that absorbs the rays of the sunlight and then convert them into electricity. You know, in all our training courses, we try to break it down to make it as simple as possible. All right. So this particular topic on solar panels has already been made provision for or in our training manual. Yes, in our basic solar installation manual. So it is already in there. All you need to do is grab a copy of it and then you can read through. But then we want to refresh your memory on what solar panels are. Solar panels to a layman or to somebody who has no knowledge of what we're talking about here, is that your component that helps you to generate your energy through the help of the sunlight. How does it work? Your solar panels absorbs the rays of the sun and then convert it to electricity. Some people can say it absorbs light, okay, which is the same as saying the rays of sunlight. Okay, so it absorbs the rays of sunlight, convert it to electricity for you to be able to use in your facility, which simply means that your solar panel is your generating station. It is that which helps you to generate the electricity you need or the energy you need in your facility. That is what your solar panel is. There are various types of solar panels, just as you all are aware. For those of you who have gone through our basic solar training course, you know that there are various types of solar panels. You have the monocrystalline solar panel, you have the polycrystalline, you have the other types, half cut, bifacial, and the rest of them. You also have the one we even call the concentrated solar panels, even though they are not so much in use. But then on my screen, you can see the four basic types of solar panels that are in use: monocrystalline, polycrystalline, half-cut solar panels, bifacial solar panels. From all of these solar panels, one thing you need to know and be sure of is that they are all solar panels. Okay, they are all solar panels, right? Yes, but then they are now built on different technology having different characteristics. Like your monocrystalline is quite different from your polycrystalline. For those of you who have undergone our basic training on solar, like I keep referring to it, if you have not, please uh, enroll for the course, take it completely, and you will get to understand. So your monocrystalline and your poly are not the same at all. But then, is your half cut and your bifacial solar panels, are they the same with your monocrystalline? That is what we are about to find out. However, this course, this training session is focused entirely on bifacial. So we might not be able to talk about the other types of solar panels that we have, but then if you take your time to enroll for the course completely, we can actually give you that information. What are bifacial solar panels? What are bifacial solar panels? These bifacial solar panels, what really are they? Bifacial solar panels are transparent double-sided solar panels that have the ability to generate energy from both the front and the rear. What that simply means is that your bifacial solar panels are your glass-like type of solar panel. They are transparent in nature and they are double-sided in nature. That is to say, both the front and the back look alike. Yes. And it is also telling you that your bifacial solar panels can be able to generate energy from both the front and the back, because the technology that is used to manufacture your bifacial solar panel is such that what is in the front is also what is in the back. But then um, the technique behind your energy generation for your bifacial solar panel, for the energy generation from the back, it uses the principle of reflection. All right, yes, why the front is generate energy through direct sunlight, but then the back uses the principle of reflection to generate energy. That is to say, it can only generate energy from the back or through the back when there is a little bit of reflection or a very large reflection at the back. Then it can generate for you. In summary, the bifacial solar panels are designed in such a way that they generate let's say, a certain percentage of the original capacity. Yes, so on my screen you can see that we have put it out that it generates about 10 to 30% energy under normal condition. What that simply means is that if your solar panel is bifacial and it is rated 500 watt, which means from the front it can generate 500 watt for you. Then from the back, which is the rear, it can also give you 10 to 30% of 500 watts from the back. Therefore, at the end of the day, when you are making use of a bifacial solar panel, you would be generating more energy than your regular solar panel or monocrystalline solar panel. Which means for a 500-watt bifacial solar panel, you would be generating nothing less than 600 watts, 650 watts, or 700 watts, depending on the condition of that your installation or project. I hope you guys are getting this. Now, this is a bifacial solar panel. You can see what we said. The front is almost looking like the back. The back is transparent, or the front is transparent. So that is what you can see. On the left, you can see the front, and on the right, you can see the rear, which is the back. Now look at what we told you guys, that it uses the principle of reflection to generate energy from the back. As you can see, the rays of the sun, it is now being reflected to the back. As it is being reflected to the back, it is also going to be generating energy from this back through the principle of reflection, just as we have explained earlier. How does bifacial solar panels work? This is a very big question. Yes, how does bifacial solar panel work? As you can see on my screen, this is just a simple illustration that you receive a direct sunlight. A direct sunlight is being received and falls on that your solar panel. Okay, that way it generates energy for you. Then also, if there is a reflection, which is called diffused sunlight, if there's a reflection, diffused sunlight or reflected diffused sunlight, if it gets to the back, definitely this your solar panel would be able to generate energy for you. Now note that your ordinary monocrystalline solar panels that are not bifacial cannot perform this duty. Yes, there is a basic difference between your monocrystalline, your ordinary monocrystalline, and your bifacial monocrystalline solar panel. They are not the same thing, even though they are both monocrystalline in nature. However, your bifacial solar panel has been upgraded in such a way that it receives direct sunlight and generates energy for you, and also generate more energy for you through the principle of reflection, like I keep saying. All right, how efficient are bifacial solar panels? This is another very big question. Okay, how efficient are bifacial solar panels? Bifacial solar panels are said to be more efficient than an ordinary monocrystalline solar panel, just like I have said earlier. Bifacial solar panels or bifacial monocrystalline solar panels are more efficient than an ordinary monocrystalline solar panels due to the following reasons, or due to the reasons that we have explained from the very beginning of this training lecture. Okay, your bifacial solar panels has the ability to generate 10 to 30% of its original rated capacity from the back, which is impossible for your ordinary monocrystalline solar panels. Okay, so now to compare them, to give you guys a better understanding, if you have a ordinary monocrystalline solar panel rated 200 watts, and you have a bifacial monocrystalline solar panel rated 200 watts, your bifacial should generate nothing less than 350 or even 400 watt. No, not 400, because that's about 100%. So it should be about 250, 300 watt for you, while your ordinary monocrystalline would be struggling around 200, 205, 210. Yes, in as much as the solar panels have their individual efficiencies and tolerances. Okay, that those tolerances can aid them in generating more energy, right? Yes, but then your Bifacial solar panel is a very, very special solar panel which does magic for you on the field. What makes bifacial solar panels more efficient? Yes. What can we say? What can we say? What signs and symbols? What are the things that we can say that is making our bifacial or your bifacial solar panels to be more efficient than your ordinary solar panels? What can we say? One, high performance in cloudy condition. Yes, your bifacial solar panels has the ability to perform optimally, to perform very high, to be very, very efficient, even in cloudy conditions. There is to say, even in bad weather. Okay, so depending on where you have installed this your bifacial solar panels, they can actually generate more energy for you than your normal monocrystalline solar panels. And from that, or due to that effect, you would not be worried about your energy generation if you are making use of a bifacial solar panel. Two, double-sided functionality. That simply means that you can actually get energy from the front and from the back. Altogether, more energy for you when you use a bifacial solar panel. Three, space efficiency. This space efficiency has to do with you generating a high amount of energy while you are making use of lesser number of solar panels. To break it down, it simply means that if your system design has been like 10 solar panels for ordinary monocrystalline, if you use about 6 solar panels for your bifacial, you will generate the same amount of energy you would have generated when you are using ordinary monocrystalline, and also generate more energy. That is what it means. So your bifacial gives you your double amount of energy generation, and also gives you more energy, and while you are using making use of lesser space. That is what that simply means. So if your for or if during your site visitation you found out that the place for the installation for your uh, solar panels is an issue, is a problem, there is no space for installation, the best thing you can do for yourself is to go for a bifacial solar panel. Once you go for a bifacial solar panel, you will be making use of a smaller space while you're generating a larger amount of energy. So, what are the advantages of a bifacial solar panel? One, durability. Two, more power output. Three, perform well in low light or shading. Four, energy generation through reflected light. So these are basically the advantages, and which the other solar panels might not have. When we say durability, it is more durable than your ordinary monocrystalline solar panel. And obviously, just like what we have been saying, it gives you more power output as well, and performs well in low light or shading. So, which means when you talk about shading, like one of the things to look out for when you go for site visitation, especially for your mounting of your solar panels, you are advised not to mount your solar panels where it's going to be shaded. However, for your bifacial solar panels, it has some special functionality, okay, such that even if it is shaded, it will be able to generate a certain amount of energy for you and not just leave you in the dark, unlike your ordinary monocrystalline solar panels. I also, your half cut monocrystalline solar panel also has this same type of functionality. Okay, it can actually generate energy for you even if it is shaded. All right, and then your bifacial solar panels generate energy through reflected light, which is impossible for other which is impossible for other types of solar panels, Okay, let's proceed. Are bifacial solar panels useless on rooftops? Are bifacial solar panels useless on rooftops? Are bifacial solar panels useless on rooftops? That is a question you guys have been waiting for. No, they are not useless on rooftops. They are not entirely useless on rooftops. They are not entirely useless on rooftops. However, they do not meet up with the full capacity of their energy generation when used for rooftop installations. What that simply means is that, one, your bifacial solar panels are not useless on rooftops, which answers the question of can they be used on for rooftop installation? Yes, you can, but then the downside to it is that they would not be giving you that your expected energy generation. Okay, they won't be giving you that your expected energy generation if you use them for your rooftop installation. That is what it means. So it also means for a bifacial solar panel rating of 200 watts, it is expected, like I said earlier, to generate about 250 or 300 watts for you, or even 350, depending on the weather condition, right? Or under normal conditions, 350 watts for you. But then if you make use of them for a rooftop installation, you might not be getting as much efficiency as you expect. So from 200 watts to generate you 350 watts, you might be getting 200 or 210 at most, which means you have not made good use of that your solar panel, which is not the actual essence of getting that solar panel, which is also a waste of resources, because you have just wasted your time and your money in getting such solar panel, and putting them on the roof is bad. That is what it means here. So for a bifacial solar panel to perform at its full potential, it must be tilted and above the roof at an angle of 45 degrees so as to receive reflected rays. What that simply means is that if it is a must that you put it on your roof, if it is a must that the only available space for you to mount your bifacial solar panels, if the only available space is the rooftop, if it is the rooftop, what you are expected to do is to raise it above the roof at an angle of 45 degrees. Okay, as you can see, this is a rooftop installation of a bifacial solar panel, and just like we said, tilt it up at an angle of 45 degrees. That is what you have up there. You have to tilt it up so that they can receive reflected rays. If we turn the picture around and you see the back of this installation, you will see that it is receiving an amount of rays or reflected light that it is using to generate more energy for you. That's what we said here. We have told you guys that you must it should be tilted and above the roof at an angle of 45 degrees so as to receive reflected rays, and that is what you have on this roof. Now, another bigger question: how are bifacial solar panels installed for maximum efficiency? For maximum efficiency, bifacial solar panels are mounted at least 1 meter high off the ground with a highly reflective surface such as white gravel, sand, or a white roof underneath. So what this simply means is that in the absence of a roof installation, yes, we all know right now that your bifacial solar panels are not to be mounted on the roof. So what is the best way of mounting it? Ground mount is the best. Ground mount is the best. The ones we call the carport and the rest of them, put it on the ground where you can have receive direct sunlight from above and from below. So from below, which is the under, you must have a highly reflective surface such as gravel, sand, or white roof. That is why when you see some people make use of this bifacial solar panels, they pour gravel on it, or they even paint. Some go as far as painting the floor. Okay, they go as far as painting the floor so that it can have a little, no, not a little, not a little per se, it can have a high reflection under that your solar panel, and in that case it will generate more energy for you. All right, yeah. So look at what we're talking about here. It should be lifted off the ground. So the picture you can see here right now is a bifacial solar panel mounted on the ground. It is tilted. You can see the shadows on the ground and the reflection behind that your solar panel. Therefore, it is well mounted this way. You can as well look at this one. We said gravel, okay, or white surface. Look at it under here. As you can see, after the installation, or rather we can say it is mounted on a over a gravel surface. So with this, you can easily enable these your solar panels to have proper reflection. Okay, to have proper reflection. That's why I said use reflective materials. Now you ensure proper spacing. That is why they say 1 meter apart. 1 meter apart. If you look at the solar panels, you see that there are spaces between them. There are spaces between them 1 meter apart. Then let it be tilted at an angle. You can see this one is also well tilted. We are gradually coming to the end of this training session. We hope you guys are learning. Now, this is a summary of how the solar panels, bifacial solar panels, can be installed for maximum efficiency. All right. From left to right, you can see that from the front or from the front to the back, you can see that you have a specific amount of height, a tilt angle, then the interrow spacing. You can see it. You must consider that interrow spacing so that you can also have a maximum reflection for your solar panels to perform optimally. You also have the module length as well considered there as well. Then you have the ground albedo. There is the white surface we're talking about. You have to make sure it is mounted over a white surface or a very highly reflective surface. All right. We hope you guys have been able to learn a lot from this training lecture on bifacial solar panels. This is where we shall call it an end until you get to hear from us again on another training topic. Remember, this is brought to you by VertField Tech. Follow us on all our socials: WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All right. These videos will be made available on all platforms. Invite your friends, invite your family members. Let them join our training platforms for solar, CCTV, automation, anything they need to learn. Web development, we are also into it. All right. So this is where we shall call it a day on this topic on bifacial solar panels. Bye bye.